How is it going, everybody? This video is going to be about 20 primal movements that anyone can learn. And this is a follow-up to my beginner primal movement video, which a lot of you gave me a really great response on. So I'm going to follow that up with a recap of the fundamentals and then additional movements that you can start incorporating into bigger, better flows. First is this quadruped position called static beast. Place your hands and toes on the ground, press hard into the floor, and engage your core to raise the knees. This is one of the fundamental positions, so make sure you practice it a lot. The second exercise is called loaded beast. What you're going to do here is crouch backwards with your butt more towards your heels and your arms outstretched in front of you. This gives you potential energy to unload later. For example, movement number 3 is beast reach. So from loaded beast, you can simply reach forward and bring your knee to the opposite side arm. This one puts a lot of load on the wrists and shoulders, so make sure you've warmed up thoroughly before trying it. Another option is to go from loaded beast to a pike, then raise the heels, bring the hips forward, retract the scapula, and look up. Then reverse it by looking down, protracting the scapula, bringing the hips back, and dropping the heels. This fourth movement is called wave unload and is a great movement for working on your spinal mobility and fluidity. So make sure you try this out. It feels great and it's just all around a great way to unload. Once you've gotten used to the beast position, you can start traveling in it, and traveling beast is movement number 5. Start with a contralateral lift and shift forward, and then place your hand and foot down, and just repeat that. You can also travel in reverse by going backwards, but be careful, it's easy to overstep when you're going backwards. And next, you can work on another fundamental position, which is static crab. With hands and feet on the floor, fingers pointed straight back behind you, hold your hips up off the floor like this. You'll find that you have to really press down into the floor and depress the shoulder blades, meaning lower the shoulders away from your ears to hold this properly. And once you're good at this position, you can start raising one hand up off the ground, follow it as you bring it around your head into this 3-point bridge called crab reach. Make sure you work both sides, of course, and that goes for all of these movements. And this one particularly is really good for opening the hips and improving shoulder mobility. And just like beast, you can also walk in the crab position. Again, you're going to start with a contralateral lift and then just shift one step at a time, alternating sides. This is really a great traveling exercise, and of course you can move forwards and backwards, so make sure you try both directions. And now another fundamental position is ape. And to get into ape, you simply get into a deep squat and hold the position. Next, if you get into a deep squat position and reach forward like this is called deep ape reach. It's great for increasing your deep squat flexibility and stretching your upper back. Then if you raise up onto your toes like this, arms outstretched and hips open, this is standing ape reach. Really good for opening the chest and hips. When I use these in a flow, I like to exhale and do this deep ape reach, really close up, and then hold that for a few seconds, and then inhale as I come up onto my toes for standing ape reach and open up. It feels really good. Now, from that deep squat position, you can also travel laterally in what's called traveling ape. Notice that my inside hand lands near the opposite foot and my hips get quite high. But if you're not able to get your hips that high in the beginning, that's fine. You don't have to do it. You can do smaller hops like I'm doing right now. So just work on it, and this is great for building upper body strength and improving hip mobility. And on the same note, if from a squatting position you hop forward and try to get those hips up, you're doing traveling frog. This is another one of those movements that can really tax the wrists, so make sure you warm up thoroughly, and also try to get those hips up if you can every time you hop. Now we're going to return to beast and crab with a basic transition called the Underswitch. This involves doing a contralateral lift and then pressing off with the foot still on the ground and rotating around so you switch between beast and crab. This is actually dual purpose. You can use it to transition between crab and beast, but also it's good just to perform for flair in your flows. Another thing you can do from beast is a contralateral lift, but then rotate and kick your leg through to the other side. These are called kick-throughs. I like to add a couple of these into a flow for flair, but you can also do them repeatedly as a cardio exercise like I'm doing here. Another less common position is Crocodile. So here I'm doing static Crocodile, which is basically holding the bottom of a push-up position. But don't be quick to judge, this is actually a difficult position to hold, especially for someone just starting out. And once you can hold Crocodile, try doing traveling Crocodile. And to do this, it takes coordination of your feet and hands. You're basically tiptoeing with your feet and then performing small little explosive push-ups with your hands. And another traveling exercise that's quite popular is the duck walk. To perform this, you want to hold a squat, drop one knee to the floor, and walk with the other. And this is a great exercise because it really works the entire hip and thigh region. We're talking hip flexors, glutes, quads, and hamstrings. And another traveling movement that I really like is the bear walk. To do this, get into a pike and lift the heels off the floor so you're on the balls of your feet. Keep your heels up, do contralateral lifts, and one step at a time, move forward or backwards. To get the most out of this one, make sure you try to maintain the best pike you can and keep those heels off the floor. It's best to take it nice and slow and concentrate on form rather than trying to move fast. And last but not least, number 20 is the lizard crawl. This is basically a staggered push-up, but if you look closely, the arm that's further back, on that side, you bend at the knee and bring the knee up to the elbow. You'll find that this requires you to also twist at the torso and turn your head with each step that you take. Also, take your time with this one. It is difficult even for people who are advanced with push-ups, and make sure you practice it backwards as well. So there you go, those are 20 of the more beginner level primal and animal movements that I've been using to improve my mobility and stability. So give those a shot, practice each one, make sure you take your time, don't rush it, and start building your own flows. Like you can see me doing here, you just sort of connect the different movements in whichever way feels natural to you. Memorize the flows, build on them, improve on them, and don't forget to subscribe too so that you keep in touch and turn on those notifications because I'll be uploading more primal movement videos in the future. Alright, thanks guys. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.